My name is Amy. I live with my husband, my daughter, and my mother-in-law. My father-in-law passed away early in his life, so my daughter has never met him. I also just met him a few times, but he passed away soon after. So I started living with my mother-in-law just a few years after we got married. My mother-in-law is very sweet to my daughter and my husband. Therefore, my daughter was closer to my mother-in-law rather than me. I was strict with my daughter and tried not to spoil her. So my daughter and my husband, who were spoiled by my mother-in-law, were very hard on me. I felt lonely every day because I didn't have a place for myself. My mother-in-law bought everything my daughter wanted. She spends my income without my permission and asks me to make ends meet with the money that is left over. My husband kept finding a job and quitting, so his salary was not stable and we were living mostly on my money. I told my husband, "Please get a job," but he would get upset and say, "I'm doing my best in my own way, so don't tell me what to do. You're working to pay the bills. I'm supporting you to do that. You should be grateful." I don't understand how he can say such a thing, as he is better than me. He must know that if my salary were to disappear, he would not be able to make a living. But they seem not to care about that, and they just keep spending the money. As my daughter got older, the things she wanted become more and more expensive. I would tell her to be careful, but of course she wouldn't listen to me. I have been wearing the same things for years. My mother-in-law buys my daughter new clothes every week, and she looks down on me. It's my money, but the one whom my daughter says thank you to is my mother-in-law who buys for her. And my daughter treats me like an enemy. She seemed to have forgotten that it was me who earned money. I sometimes wonder, am I wasting all my effort and time on everyone in this family? I just want to give up everything. But for the sake of my family, I was always thinking in circles and could not come up with an answer. And yet, my mother-in-law would spend money for my daughter, and my husband would spend his own salary for himself, so we had no savings. I sometimes felt afraid that we might not be able to make ends meet without borrowing money. Fortunately, we're not in debt yet, but if they keep buying my daughter whatever she wants, we will not be able to make a living in the near future. So I have warned my husband, mother-in-law, and daughter many times. You are non-blood relative to us. I won't let outsiders complain about us. How we use the money is not your business. That's how it ends up. I wonder who is spending the money earned by someone non-blood relative. Moreover, my husband said, "You want to say that you are earning the money, don't you? But what's wrong with spending it? We're just spending the money we have at home. We're not borrowing money, so what are you complaining about?" He will say things like that. My daughter will be laughing at me. She will say to me, "Work harder." I was depressed because I thought I had raised her wrong. I have to work and do housework every day, and it's really hard. But working makes me not think about my family, so I think it's the best thing to do. No matter what I say, there is no one in this house who will stand by me, no matter how busy I get at work. "Hey, Mill, hurry up." That's all. It's my fault that housework is not done. It's my fault we don't have money. I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of working and I'm tired of being at home. I don't even have time to sleep. So even though I was mad at my family, I honestly did not have the energy to get angry with them. So I got into the habit of working before I got angry. But this life was taking a very heavy toll on my body. One day, my daughter said to me, I want my pocket money. I'm going to high school now. Grandma does buy me things I want, but I don't have any money. I said, Why do you need pocket money when you got what you want? You're so mean. Ugh, useless. That's why Grandma and Dad don't like you. She said so and went back to her room. Pocket money. I knew it. I knew that my mother-in-law was giving her pocket money from my salary. She said it was from her pension, but it was my money. My daughter didn't know about that, so she thinks I'm stingy. I don't care about that, but when my daughter's gone, she laughed at me and say, You have to earn more money to make a living. Your daughter's on my side, so no one will listen to you. She smirked and said so. The stress piled up and my family collapsed. The doctor told me I had a stomach ulcer. I needed to be hospitalized and the surgery as soon as possible. When I told my family about it, my mother-in-law said, You're not that weak to be put in the hospital. Then my husband said, You can't stay in the hospital. You have to work. When I saw their reaction, everything I had endured until then exploded at once. Enough! I've been supporting you all this time, but I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving. That's all I said, and I left home. I completely cut myself off from them and stopped having anything to do with them. I asked my parents to bring me what I needed for my husband's day and to spend any other belongings to me, even if I had to pay cash on delivery. I also told the company that I wanted to make a new bank book for my salary. I made sure that the three of them could never touch my salary again. My parents said, We're so sorry you had to endure this. When you finish the treatment, just come back. We'll have a good time living together, they said. I was so worried about going back to my home that I couldn't stay calm in the hospital, but after hearing that, I felt much better. I asked the hospital not to allow anyone but my parents to visit me while I was in the hospital, but neither my husband, mother-in-law, nor my daughter come to visit me. I had a lawyer to help me with everything I needed for my divorce, so that I never had to see them again. The stress was gone. My ex-family members seemed to be against the divorce for some reason, saying it was never going to happen, but I don't care. I was at my limit. The division of property seemed to be quite difficult, but they had spent so much money that there was nothing left. So there wasn't much to share, which was easy for me. After I got out of the hospital, I continued to work at a company. Life with my parents was very calm. I didn't feel any stress at all. Until I was gone, they used to spend my money as they wanted, but now they couldn't do it anymore, so I am able to save up a lot of money. And I am able to refresh myself and go on vacations. I feel regret why I had not left earlier. One day, while I was enjoying my morning, after several years of divorce, my husband contacted me. He seemed to be very impatient. Hey, we've been living on my money for a while, but it reached the limit. Our debts have gone up and we can't pay them back. We've been living as a husband and wife for so long, so you owe me, don't you? Give me some money. How dare he ask me for money? I was utterly disgusted. Why don't you sell your daughter's various luxury items? Or sell yours and your mother's? Or the house? There are so many ways, aren't there? When I told him, he got angry at me for being so heartless. I guess he forgot how they had treated me. I clearly refused about the money. I have nothing to do with you people anymore. When I told him that, You're the only one I can count on. Please. My husband became weak. I had no sympathy for him though. I hung up the phone. Then my mother-in-law and my daughter called me. My mother-in-law said, "I was wrong about you until now. We had a very happy life because of you." My daughter said, "You gave birth to me, didn't you? Thank you, Mommy. Thank you for earning so much money for us. Let's get back to live together again." What the hell are they talking about now? I don't know what they're thinking. I was so fed up with this stupid family that doesn't even realize that it was too late for everything. And I rejected all incoming calls. I made up my mind to never get involved with them again. The next day, I got a call from the police. They said that my husband and my mother-in-law had stormed into the hospital where I used to be hospitalized, and they went into the ward where the patients were staying. "Where's my Amy? Come out!" and made a big fuss. The police arrived shortly after and seized them. They stayed overnight in the detention center. They asked me to take them in. I told him that I had nothing to do with them anymore and hung up the phone. I don't know what happened to the family after that, but from the looks of things, I guess the debt got too big and they couldn't do anything about it. Cockroaches are strong, so they may still be able to survive somewhere. By the way, I'm having a good time with my parents. I'm thinking of taking the trip to a hot spring with my family as a token of my gratitude. I didn't know that a peaceful life is such a blessing. I hope I can continue to live a calm life from now on.